The episode opens in hauntingly quiet fashion. Slightly sits in his room beside Arthur, whose face is smothered by a living parasite. Innocent in mind despite his synthetic body, the boy tries giving Arthur a drink, but the fluid only causes the creature to cinch tighter. Before he can act further, Smee pounds on the door, demanding answers. When he barges in, he freezes in horror at Arthur's condition. Panicked, Slightly blurts out that if Smee tells anyone, his family will be killed. He insists they must carry Arthur to the beach because the man from the ship ordered it. Smee resists but, shaken and frightened, agrees to help. Together, they haul Arthur's limp body through the corridors, constantly glancing around as alarms blare elsewhere in the facility. Meanwhile, Boy Cavalier and his colleagues discover something equally horrific. The body of Toodles, Isaac, has been found, mangled in a way that seems deliberate rather than accidental. Security footage confirms the chilling truth. The sheep-like alien used cunning, not instinct, to orchestrate the boy's death by startling him into a fatal mistake. Cavalier, disturbed but fascinated, interprets this not as random violence but as proof of strategy. His colleague Ainz warns that such intelligence in a non-human organism is catastrophic if ever unleashed, but Cavalier, consumed by scientific arrogance, only becomes more eager to test its boundaries. When Wendy arrives and sees Toodles' body, she demands to tell the others. Cavalier refuses and tries to confine her, but the xenomorph locked in its cage reacts violently to her distress, rattling the soldiers enough to let her go. Cavalier then orders the trackers re-enabled, only to discover many of the hybrid signals have been turned off. Someone is aiding their escape. Back in her quarters, Wendy tells her brother Joe Hermit about Isaac's death. Joe insists it's time to leave the island. Wendy agrees, but she won't abandon the other lost children. Together, they recruit Nibs and Curly. The conversation turns tense. Curly believes Cavalier saved them and doesn't trust Wendy's warning. Nibs, however, sides with her, declaring they will all die if they stay. As they argue, Wendy reaches out through the facility's system and remotely unlocks the xenomorph's cage. It bursts free, savaging soldiers and tearing through corridors. Amid the chaos, the siblings and their allies slip away. Elsewhere, Slightly and Smee drag Arthur's body through the jungle, desperate to complete their mission. Just when it seems he's gone for good, Arthur stirs. The dead facehugger drops from a tree, and Arthur stumbles to his feet, dazed and suspicious. Slightly and Smee scramble for lies. A gas leak, a meeting with Dame at the beach, anything to keep him moving. But Arthur knows something is wrong. Before he can act, his body convulses violently. In a scene both grotesque and tragic, a chestburster tears through him, leaving behind an empty husk. The newborn creature darts into the undergrowth. Slightly devastated, still tries to track it, but Smee drags him away. At the shoreline, the boys meet Morrow and a squad of Weyland-Yutani soldiers. When Morrow learns the alien is missing, he coldly dismisses Arthur's death. To him, the children are pawns, useful only if they lead him to the xenomorph. While the children flee, Boy Cavalier descends deeper into moral corruption. Fascinated by the sheep creature, he begins testing it with mathematical patterns. To Ainz's horror, it answers correctly, stamping out sequences with eerie precision. Cavalier beams with delight, convinced it is a gateway to higher intelligence. When Ainz warns that transferring such cognition into a human would be disastrous, Cavalier chillingly suggests exactly that, implanting the organism in a host with low mental capacity to observe how alien intelligence expresses itself. The line between discovery and atrocity is obliterated. Wendy, Joe, and Nibs trek toward the docks, only to be intercepted by soldiers. As rifles are raised, Wendy begins to chitter. From the trees, the newly freed xenomorph leaps down and slaughters the squad. What stuns everyone is not the carnage itself, but the way Wendy whispers commands, hide, follow, and the creature obeys. Her connection is no longer metaphorical, she is in communication. Meanwhile, Slightly and Smee remain trapped in Morrow's custody. When Kirsch appears with the captured chestburster in containment, he taunts Morrow with finders keepers. The corporate factions now clash over possession of the alien, with the children caught between them. At the dock, Wendy and Joe prepare to seize a boat, but mercenaries Siberian and Rashidi arrive with guns drawn. Tension boils over when a soldier seizes Nib's toy and tosses it into the water. Nib snaps. With terrifying strength, she tears the man's jaw off, sparking a brutal melee. Wendy screeches inhumanly, summoning her alien ally, but Joe grabs her, silencing the chittering. Nibs, unstoppable, crushes soldier after soldier until Joe is forced to stun her with a shock baton. Wendy screams at him in anguish, her eyes and voice no longer entirely human. From the tree line, the xenomorph watches. Whether it sees Wendy as master, sibling, or something entirely new is left deliberately unclear. The episode closes on its most haunting image, Wendy's face shifting, her features flickering with something alien. She is no longer simply a girl with synthetic parts, nor just a host for some infect. She is evolving into a hybrid being, part child, part machine, part xenomorph intelligence. Joe, horrified, asks the only question that matters, what did you do? His words hang over the final shot as music swells, underscoring the tragedy of a sister he may no longer be able to save.